There's not a great amount of Bitcoin news today, but one thing that I do find helpful when I am trading Bitcoin is to look at the futures market. And you can go to a site like investing.com and just click on index futures and see basically what the sentiment of the market is for the day. The reason why I do that is because, in my experience, rarely does crypto, at least in the bigger cryptos, rarely will it swim against the stream when it comes to the broader market. So if the broader market is down, it's probably going to reflect in crypto as well. So before you jump into a position, especially if you're using any kind of leverage, you want to make sure you're trading in the direction of the market more often than not. Now, there are exceptions to the rules, of course, but generally speaking, the other thing that I like to look at in terms of not necessarily Bitcoin news, but just in economic news is what's going on around the world. So we have a new conflict in the Middle East. We know that President Trump is speaking with the head of the Soviet Union, or Russia, I should say, dating myself there. So world events will also, as you know, play a role. But sometimes if you're expecting big things, it's better to hold off on your trading, at least in my experience. Now, if you have a very high risk tolerance or if you're just buying to hold, that's fine. But if you are more of a day trader or a scalper or you swing trade, whatever it might be, then you want to be careful, especially during times like these. And the other thing that I'm looking at this week is on Wednesday, Jerome Powell will be speaking about interest rates. Now, we had fairly good news today in terms of housing starts. The U.S. is building more houses, or at least it's more coming online, which I think is fantastic, especially for those of you who are hoping to buy a house. You want people to have that stability in your country. You want them to own homes, to settle down, not to rent and so forth. But anyway, I digress. The so some of the economic news that we've had lately has been better. I think it's been better. However, what happens tomorrow is going to weigh heavily on the markets one way or the others. When you're looking at Bitcoin news, don't just read the headlines. Think about the broader market. That's my 2 cents. I hope it's helpful for you. Have a great day. Oh, and if you like this kind of information, give me a like and a follow. Thanks.